Have you ever wondered how systems of oppression can seemingly disappear, only to reemerge in a different form? It is a complex historical question that reveals deep-seated societal dynamics. The Black Codes, enacted in Southern states immediately after the Civil War, established a direct legal and social precedent for the later Jim Crow laws. They served as a blueprint, showing how to legally control and exploit formerly enslaved African Americans, setting the stage for decades of racial segregation and disenfranchisement. These codes were essentially an attempt by Southern states to maintain a system of white supremacy and cheap labor following the abolition of slavery. While the 13th Amendment formally ended slavery, these state laws sought to replicate many of its conditions. For example, vagrancy laws allowed local authorities to arrest black men and women who were unemployed, then force them into labor contracts, often for their former enslavers, with severe penalties for breaking those contracts. Restrictions on land ownership, prohibitions against voting, and bans on serving on juries or carrying weapons were also common elements. These measures aimed to strip African Americans of their economic autonomy and political power, solidifying their subordinate status in society. Understanding the Black Codes is crucial because it demonstrates that Jim Crow laws were not an isolated or spontaneous development. Instead, they representing a direct continuation of strategies designed to maintain racial hierarchy. By studying the Black Codes, we can clearly see the progression and adaptation of legal mechanisms used to enforce segregation and systemic inequality, providing vital context for the challenges faced during the Reconstruction era and beyond. One particularly egregious aspect of the Black Codes was their connection to what became known as convict leasing. Under the guise of vagrancy laws, black individuals were arrested for minor or fabricated offenses. Once convicted, they were leased out to private businesses or plantations, essentially becoming forced labor, which was allowed by the 13th Amendment's loophole for punishment of a crime. This practice became a significant economic engine for Southern states and businesses, exploiting black labor in conditions often worse than chattel slavery itself, thus creating a direct link between the Black Codes and the economic subjugation that characterized the Jim Crow era. By recognizing the Black Codes as the legal forerunners of Jim Crow, we gain a clearer and more nuanced understanding of the systematic nature of racial oppression in post-Civil War America. This historical connection illuminates how legislative efforts were continuously employed to deny basic human rights and freedom, providing essential insight into the enduring struggle for civil rights and justice.